Today's layout is parallel line development, and we are going to lay out a centered 45-degree T. Here's our fitting in the sketch area here. We have a 7-inch small end main body to 7-inch big end that's 12 inches long, and it is getting a 5-inch lateral 45-degree takeoff with a 4-inch long throat and a groove seam on the throat, and it's going to start 3 inches up from the big end. The math required for this is quite simple. We have 7-inch round for the main pipe. Circumference is 7 times pi. We get a stretch out of 22 inches. Our branch pipe, we get a stretch out of 15.708 inches. On my cut sizes, my main pipe stretch out, I have to add a 1/4 inch groove seam allowance, which is 3W, or 3 times 3/4, for a stretch out or a cut size of 22 3/4. My height is 12 inches finished. I need 1.5 inches extra material for the small end allowance, which gives me 13 3/4 for a cut size of 22 3/4 by 13 3/4. Now the branch pipe, all we can really do is add the groove seam allowance to our 15.708 stretch out, because we don't know what our height is going to be until we do our parallel line layout. As in most layout procedures, our first step is to build an accurate working drawing. So I'm just going to zoom out a little bit here. Clear that up. And we're going to start with our accurate working drawing. And we're going to lay out a baseline for our main pipe. Inches in height. We'll add the extra on when we do our actual layout. There's my 12-inch. I'm going to take this line all the way across. To talk just like the base we are going to use for our parallel line development layout. Now, I have 7-inch round. And that 7-inch round rises 3 inches before I hit my 45-degree takeoff. So I'll measure up 3 inches there now. And that is where we need to branch off at 45 degrees. I'm just going to make this line a little extra long because I don't know where my actual finish line is going to land. And we have 5-inch round. And I'll bring that back down to the body. Measure my 7-inch round here, which is right here. And bring this down. This is an object line now, so I'm going to darken it. I know I need 4 inches in this throat by my shop drawing. So when I mark that, I will have found my finish line. Sometimes the working drawings are a little difficult to develop because we almost never have all the information that we would like to see on there, but they always have enough to make it work. Here we had to work from our base and from the 3-inch rise that was required, but it wasn't overly difficult. We just have to think our way around it. Now, I have elevation view. Zoom out a little now. And from our elevation view, we are going to project upwards to make a plan view. For this particular layout, we actually need both views. Let's put the line across here. Bring that way up. And I can still see it. Find my midpoint on my plan view. Half of 7 is 3.5. And we'll project that all the way down through both drawings. That is our center line. Now, we're going to develop a profile. After we finish our plan view, here's my plan view. That's me looking down upon that ground. If I'm looking down at the plan view, I'm going to be able to see a shortened view of my 4-inch round, or 5-inch round, pardon me. Now we're going to set our dividers for a 5-inch radius, which is 5-inch diameter, I should say, which is 2.5-inch round. And I'm going to just put a profile here, so that we can see where our element lines are on our branch pipe. And I will project those back to the main pipe so we can see where they meet their intersection point. Now, I'm going to take that exact same radius, if I can find my little compass, double check it here, and I'll use that to find the midpoint of my branch pipe. We're also going to put profile on our branch pipe. And I'm going to drag this center line up here a little, and we'll bring it all the way down to this intersection point. I'll make that a little darker so we can all see it. Okay. Now, this is where the fun begins. I will set up my profile view on the end of my branch pipe here. We're going to use our radius to divide that profile into 6 equal spaces. I'm also going to use that same radius to divide this profile on the branch, or the plan view of the branch, into its 6 equal spaces. And now we have our plan view and our elevation view complete. My next step is to extend these element lines through the body roughly to the center line. And there we have our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 element lines, 6 spaces. I'm also going to do the same on my plan view. Now we're only going to carry them till they meet the body. This is what we're after. We're after the place, location, where these element lines intersect the body of the main pipe. And we're going to use these locations to lay out the actual miter line on the main pipe, which in turn will give us the true length of all the element lines of the branch pipe. So, it's time now for us to think about numbering our fitting. My seam is here. And my seam is here on this view. We need to number this so that they relate to each other. And there is a little trick that will also help me get an inside pattern when my layout time begins, and it's this. Start at the seam with 1, and number your fitting clockwise. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, back to 1. On my seam, I'm going to go 1 and clockwise. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and back to 1. Having done that, my next step is to find the locations of these intersection points. Now, as we can see, we have a centered fitting, so 1, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 have a relationship. 2 and 12 are the same. 3 and 11 are the same. 4 and 10 are the same. I'm going to stretch these lines down through. Here I can see my 4 and my 10 are the same length. I want to run that through. Next is my 11, 9, 3, and 5, and they come from this point here, and I run them through. Next is my 12, 8, 2, and 6. Bring that through there, and as we can see here now, my 1 and 7 are tangent to the top. So when I come down here now, here's my 1, here's my 7. 6 and 8 and 2 and 12 are the same. Well, here's my 2, 12, 6, 8. Let me take that, follow it down, and there is my next one. It's also the 2. Next we're going to follow the 3, 5, 11, 9, 3, 5, 9, 11, and it's going to come down, it's going to land here. There's my 3 and 11, here's my 5, 9, it's going to land here. And then finally I have my 4 and my 10 right here. And there it is. I have my miter. And that is our working drawing. Now that we've established our working drawing, we've found the intersection points. I know now that line 1 is this long, 2 and 12 is this long, 3 and 11 is this long, 4 and 10 here, and so on and so forth. So that's the setup. We're going to pause now, and you can go to the next drawing to see the actual layout.